Over the weekend, Donald Trump traveled to Wyoming with a, let's just call it bizarre cast of characters, campaigning for Harriet Hageman, who of course is the MAGA-approved candidate challenging Liz Cheney for her House seat. Now, Hageman, of course, has been surging in the polls. Liz Cheney is not going to coast to an easy victory. It is going to be pretty difficult for Liz Cheney to emerge victorious in this race. And that, of course, is why Donald Trump headed up there, trying to seal the deal. But during his speech at a rally this past weekend, Donald Trump went off script a little bit and decided to declare that the January 6th insurrection was in fact a hoax. The event that left 7 people connected to it dead is a hoax, according to Donald Trump. Now, here is what he had to say. As one of the leading proponents of the insurrection hoax, Liz Cheney has pushed a grotesquely false, fabricated, hysterical, partisan narrative, and that was the narrative of the day. But it happened. We all saw it happen. We watched it play out on our TVs. We've seen other video clips. We've seen surveillance videos of that day. And this man is out there saying, it's a hoax. She pushed this highly partisan hoax. This man is gaslighting us. Like 100% gaslighting, not just the crowd, but of course all the media outlets that he knows are going to pick up this story because it's such an outlandish claim. This was not a hoax. This was a real thing that happened that everybody has very vivid memories of. We know what's happening with that select committee. And Donald Trump, of course, is trying to downplay the committee, basically paint it as illegitimate, not only because Liz Cheney is on the committee, but because of how horrible the information coming from the committee has been recently. I mean, we just found out a couple days ago that Mark Meadows, Donald Trump's then chief of staff, met with Scott Perry, the head of the Freedom Caucus, in his office, and he burned the documents that the men were discussing after Scott Perry left, according to one of Meadows' aides who spoke to the January 6th Select Committee. That Meadows aide, by the way, it was also revealed, said that Donald Trump suggested that maybe Mike Pence should be hanged after he learned that protesters inside of the Capitol were chanting, "Hang Mike Pence." So yeah, I can understand why Donald Trump would want people to think that this wasn't a real thing that was happening, because Donald Trump knows what the rest of us know. He knows that we're about to get more bombshells out of this committee. They have told their own staffers, get ready for the bombshells because they're going to come prior to our prime time televised hearings that begin on June 8th. So yes, we're going to get a lot more explosions, a lot more absolutely repulsive news coming from this committee. So Donald Trump went up to Wyoming and he tried to downplay everything that we're going to hear from this point forward. But I do have to say, Donald Trump did say something that I agree with, and this is something to keep in mind with Liz Cheney. He said, "The Cheneys have never met a war they didn't like. We were respected. Nobody was going to war with us. We didn't have to go to war for people to know we were the toughest and the strongest." Basically talking about Dick Cheney, of course, starting the war in Iraq. And he's not wrong about that. Let's not forget who Liz Cheney and her family are. Let's not forget that Liz Cheney routinely votes down any piece of legislation in that House that would make your life any better. Just because we have a common enemy doesn't mean we have a common goal. And that is something that everybody has to keep in mind when we talk about Liz Cheney. She may be our ally on one issue and one issue alone, taking down Donald Trump. But beyond that, she wants nothing more than to see the Republican Party succeed. She is not our friend. She is, on all issues except for the one, still our enemy. And we need to remember that moving forward. One of today's video sponsors is Private Internet Access VPN. Right now, they have an amazing offer for our Ring of Fire viewers. Go to privateinternetaccess.com/ringofire and you can get 83% off for 3-year plans plus 4 months completely free. Private Internet Access is the world's most transparent VPN provider with over 30 million downloads. They never record or store user data, and their no logs policy has been proven multiple times in court. And this is just the type of software you need, because if you aren't browsing the web using a VPN service, then you are not as secure as you'd like to think. Your data could be vulnerable to all sorts of threats that VPNs do a great job of minimizing or sometimes outright eliminating. What's more, private internet access works with all major streaming services, so you have unrestricted access to all your favorite content anywhere in the world. Plus, this is one of the few VPNs that fully supports P2P file sharing and torrenting. Private internet access has a world-class server fleet in over 80 countries, meaning you get a secure, reliable VPN connection anytime, anywhere. Plus, this VPN is available for all platforms: Windows, Mac, Android, Linux, iOS, and many more. So go to privateinternetaccess.com/ringofire and take advantage of the special offer. 83% off for the 3-year plans. That brings it all down to about $2 per month, and you also get 4 extra months of VPN protection for free. Plus, signing up for private internet access is risk-free. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee, and their highly skilled customer support team of experts is available 24/7, so make sure to subscribe today.